Hey there, mini creators. This lesson is just for you. That last one was a little bit wide open that I put out to everybody, and everybody just kind of does that on their own level. But this one is just for you. So these are the things you'll need today. You've got a little canvas that needs to be unwrapped, so you might need to have an adult get some scissors to unwrap that. There's a watercolor paper, it's kind of thick. And then there's a sketchbook paper, just a plain white paper. You will also need your pencil and Sharpie, your watercolors, and then these will be at the end. And again, you'll have an adult open those so they don't spill everywhere, all those gorgeous colors. So have those ready. And then if you have some extra paintbrushes, that will be helpful. I got a handful. If you were given the one in the watercolor, that one will work if you don't have others, but I threw a couple other sizes in there as well. And you for sure want some water, maybe even 2 bowls. I got one for the watercolor and one for the acrylic paint. And then this will do at the end. Those little beads just for you. All right. So I miss you. I'll see you next week. I'm so excited. Let's take a minute and talk about lines. And I know some of you have talked about this before. So this is my sketchbook paper. And we're just going to try, I'm taking my Sharpie, to do different kinds of lines. And if you were with me and I was with you, we would be talking about it and doing it together, but we're not. It's just me. And I'm so bored without you. So bear with me. Kinds of lines. When you make a mark, a line is making a mark between one point and another, between point A and B. That makes a line. And there's a lot of ways to get from point A to B that are different. And when you take a line and you repeat it over and over again, it's called a pattern. So we're going to do a lot of patterning today. So I'm just going to start with a straight line, and I'm going to do it kind of diagonal. And then I'm going to repeat that. I'm just going to try a bunch of those, and now I've made a pattern of straight lines. And then I'm going to try a wavy line that goes up and down. And you can just do this with me. You can pause it as you want, and I'm going to repeat it. Again, I made a pattern by repeating wavy lines going up and down. I'm going to try a spiral. I start in the middle, and I'm going to get bigger and bigger. I'm not going to fill the whole paper, but I'm going to do a part of it. So I start in the middle, and I just go around and around in a circle. Whoa, it gets bigger and bigger. That's called a spiral line. All of those are continuous lines. That means I put my pen on and I left it down. I didn't lift it up in between. So let's try a broken line. Those are continuous. A broken is where we touch and we come off, and then we touch it again, we come off. I'm going to do a dot and a dash. Ready? Dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, dash, dot. Do you see how it's broken? I have spaces in between. Dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, dash. And I'm going to keep doing that to make a pattern. Dot, dash, dot, dash. So many. How about zigzags? Again, you can pause me anytime and take more time for yours. But I'm going to try like a lightning bolt. Zigzag, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm making points. Woo! That was fancy. I'm going to do one outside of that to make a pattern. That means I'm repeating the same kind of line over and over again. My hands just going back and forth. That's a zigzag pattern. How about, gosh, can you do a checkerboard? What if I go to my straight lines and I do lines coming down? And then I could even fill in spots. This looks like Van's shoes. Oh, I want some of those for Christmas. I did a checkerboard. Can you do a checkerboard? What other kind of line is there? Oh, if you were here, you would tell me all the millions of things because you're so smart. But you're not. So I better come up with some more. What if I just did a symbol, something a little like a heart, and I just repeated that? You could do a star, you could do a dot, you could do a square, you could do a triangle. I'm going to do a heart. And I'm just going to repeat that heart. It's like a broken line because it's over and over and over. That's actually a kind of line. It's like making a little pattern. That. You can keep filling this up if you'd like, and pause me and keep filling that up with as many different lines as you can come up with. And you can paint it if you want. You can use your crayons. You can use colored pencils if you have other colors you want to put in. You can pause me and just spend time on this. Is just the sketchbook. It's just the practice part. So we're not doing a huge project with it, but it's kind of that way to warm up that artist's heart and get us thinking of ways to create and getting us ready for our next project. So take some time to do that. And then we're going to move on to this watercolor. Now, this is a nice piece of paper. It's really thick and it takes the paint really nicely. So we're moving from the sketchbook paper to that watercolor paper that's a little bit thicker. I'm going to put that up. Maybe I'm going to put it down here and I'll switch this camera away from my face. So weird, this funny thing, how we... Hold on. It's not wanting to bend. Okay. I'm not very good at this selfie business. Here we are. Okay, friends. So here is that paper. And can you see? I'm so lousy with this camera. Okay, there it is. I can move these things away. I'm just gonna start with my pencil or my Sharpie, and I'm gonna start with a circle. And you can just do this right along with me. And it doesn't have to be right in the middle. I'm just gonna pick it right about here. You see, just a circle. And then I'm going to do a pattern, that same circle. I'm going to try to trace around it evenly. So now it's like a bullseye. Try it. And then try another one. Maybe make it thicker. There's a little more space. Or thinner. And you're going to keep going, making circles. And some of them you want to be thick. Oh, and if I run into the edge, you just keep going. Pretend the edge didn't even happen there. So now I've filled up my paper with lots of different circles, and I've made patterns with them. And after you do that, we're going to practice these lines again. And you can do whatever kinds of lines you want. But I'd like you to do them in a pattern. And I wish I was better angled at this camera, but I'm not. So this is what we got. Okay. Now I'm going to pick one of my circles and try some patterns. How about those straight lines? What if I just did straight lines going all the way around? Try it. We're just practicing lines. Let's see. What if I did the wavy ones in here? And I don't have to fill every single circle. What if I did zigzags? What if I did loop-de-loops? We didn't even practice those. Whoa, those are fun. What if I did the broken lines? I did dots. You get to decide, and you can fill in each little ring with different shapes and different lines. And we're trying patterns to fill those up. Doesn't have to look like mine. We're just trying ways. We're practicing lines and patterns, repeating those lines. After you've spent enough time with your Sharpie, and you could spend another 20 minutes if you want, just push me on pause and take all the time you want with the Sharpie and fill in line after line after line. And when you have it all filled in, then we're going to have some fun with these watercolors. So watercolors, you need to dip in the water first. And then you can do a color in that ring. And that watercolor paper, I think you'll really enjoy because it takes the watercolor so nicely. It's a nice piece of paper. It's better than the ones you just get on your computer. And you're gonna rinse it in between, swirl, swirl, swirl. We talk about that. And then we pull the edge so it doesn't have too much water. Let's pick another color. I'm going to fill in these. And now I'm just practicing patterns with the colors too. So I'm repeating that red over and over again and filling in all the spots. More water. Don't want to get too much water, it can get so drippy. Every time I do a new color, I want to rinse, swirl, 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 and kind of drag that off, and now try a new color. So many colors in here. I'm loving these paints. These are yours to keep. Do whatever you want with them. They're just for you. And if you have other ideas for these paints and these papers and these supplies, you go for it. You can use it however way you want. I'm just trying designs today with pattern and lots of color. Ooh, how about a bullseye right in the middle? So I try to kind of pick a shape and then keep repeating it over and over. Until I fill this whole thing up. And it's fun to practice trying to stay in those rings. They make interesting designs. You don't have to. You can do a wash over the whole thing. That's okay too. A wash is where you fill it with water and then you kind of drop the water, the color into it, kind of like those gratitude cards. So we're just practicing designs today. And I'm going kind of fast. You can pause this. You don't have to watch me. You can just do your own thing. And there you go. I might leave some of it white because I think that's kind of cool too. So there is my design, my line design. So you spend all the time you need. Miss Jill went really quickly to just show it to you. You don't want to sit and listen to me the whole time. So you can pause that, finish that project. The next project is with this little canvas. And I've unwrapped it. And I'm going to paint a little owl on this. So maybe I'll do it on this guy. I think he'll be able to see me better. All right, we're experimenting. I'm not very good with this whole selfie, take a video of Miss Jill thing. So weird. It's really close to my face. Hi, my little mini creators. Do you like my eye really close to you? I miss you. What the heck? If you were here, we'd be giggling and laughing. Oh, you guys are the best. Okay, sneaking my eyes in here. So I've got my little canvas. I got my Sharpie. We're gonna paint an owl. Try to do this with me. Again, we're gonna just be playing with lines, and owls are kind of fun to think about in the fall. This is really close to my face. Hi. So we're gonna start with a couple of eyeballs. Are you ready for the owl? So here's my little square. I'm gonna put an eyeball. We just practiced circles. There you go. I did 2 circles. Those are gonna be eyes. And just like the project we did, I'm gonna do another circle around it. The last one was kind of a warm-up for the owl. How about that? A couple of eyeballs. If you have another idea for this canvas and you wanna paint your own thing, do it. You wanna paint a bird? You wanna paint a dog? You wanna paint a flower? Maybe yourself or your mom? Do it. It's okay with me. After I have those eyes, I'm gonna go back to that middle circle, the first one I did, and I'm gonna do a little bit of, those are his eyelids. He's kind of going like this. And then I'm gonna put the eyeball right under it. Oh, he's getting some personality now. Now he needs a beak. So I'm going to draw a line to connect the circles to a point. There you go. I just made a triangle for the beak. And you can pause this, you can rewind this, or you could do this all however you want to do this. It doesn't have to look like this. And then I'm gonna connect it, I think, right here. Well, I'm just gonna do it up here. All right. Now he's going to have kind of a swoop over the top. I'm gonna start like a point here and swoop it up. And these will be his little ears that are sticking up. And it's going to come down and down, close to those eyes. Now he just has a big body. Boom, big body. I'm going a little bit fast. You can pause and rewind, remember. That's kind of the nice part about. And a wing and a wing. Now it's up to you to put in lines and patterns to fill in however you want. You can do kind of like the Zentangling lines that we did on the other one. Maybe around his eye, I want straight lines. Do you remember how we practiced straight lines? Maybe across his forehead, he has kind of that scalloped or wavy line. And I'm making patterns. Maybe coming down here, he has waves coming in his beak. I'm doing teardrops. Do you remember how we did the hearts and we repeated them over and over? I'm doing little drops like feathers. And some lines in the middle. Now you can pick how to fill those lines in. I'm just coming up with some ideas as I'm moving along here. After you get it all filled in with your Sharpie, then the fun part happens when we start filling it in with paint. So I'm gonna pick these really fun, bright colors. And now I get to fill in the paint. Let's see. Oh, I love the pink. Now again, if you want to paint your own idea, do it. Doesn't have to be an owl. I just wanted to practice lines with you today and patterns and repeating things over and over. You can pause it anytime. And when you change colors, you'll want to swirl in the water. And I always like having a rag close. Forgot to tell you that part. And you can wipe your brush on the rag because you don't want a lot of extra water on with this paint. It's not very great with water. Ooh, I for sure want a background too. We got a little baby canvas. So cute. You know, rinse in the water in between and dry it off. Bright yellow eyes so they can see at night. Those owls are nocturnal. Did you know that? That means they fly in the night. And they do their hunting at night. They're awake all night with those great big eyeballs. I'm giving pink eyes. You get to choose all the colors. These colors are fantastic. They're so bright. Wow. I'm loving it. filling in all the white pieces. I'm not leaving anything blank. Okay, my friends, how did your owl go? A little baby canvas just for you. So as those things are drying, I know you're like, Miss Jill, what do we do with those little beads? Well, this camera doesn't need to be this close to talk about beads, for heaven's sakes. You can take some time to open these up and spread them down. Oh, this is Gus and Happy. Hi, Gus. You want to come say hi to all the kids? Come on. These are my buddies. Hi. Here's Gus boy. Hello, Gus. Hey, get over here. Come on. Happy Gus. Gus, say hi. All right, there's my boy. And Happy, she's so little. She says hi to all of her friends. Hi. You look sleepy, Happy. All right, there you go. Little detour with my animals because I love them so much. So take your beads and you can spread them out on a plate. Can't do it sideways. And take some time to put them in piles. We've talked about patterns today. So make piles of, I'm gonna put the oranges in one pile. And I'm gonna put the yellows. So I'm sorting now. Put yellows in one pile. Ooh, there's hearts and there's stars. Different kinds of beads, little flowers. Cute, cute, cute. So I'm gonna take some time and sort them into piles. I'm gonna put purples in a pile and pinks in a pile. It's gonna take you a minute, but it's really good to think about your colors and how they sort. Move those around. And I'm gonna keep going till I have them all in piles, so you get the idea. I don't need to do them all, but so I've got a blue pile and a green pile and a pink pile and an orange, a yellow and a purple. I'm gonna keep going and dropping them all in. And then I'm gonna make some jewelry. And I gave you two of these. You can hook them together and make one necklace, or you could do a couple of different bracelets. I think you should have enough beads to do all of that. So I am going to, so I'm gonna just take these guys and I'm gonna start filing them on. And I want to do a pattern. So I'm going to do green and blue and green and blue. You decide what pattern. But do you see, it's a pattern because it repeats. Green, then blue, then green, then blue. So what comes next? Green, and that's where it's really nice if they're in piles because you can pick them. Then blue. I'm gonna try to make a pattern. Maybe then after I do some of those, now I'm gonna switch to purples. Maybe I'll do a purple and a pink, and a purple and a pink. You decide the pattern. Maybe they're all one color. Maybe you'll do two colors the whole bracelet. So you'll keep playing until you have a cute little bracelet you can wrap around. Keep putting the beads on, and then let your mom or a sister or a dad help you to stick that on your wrist, and you can just twist it on. And you've got a fancy little bracelet, a Thanksgiving bracelet. So they can help you do that. You can even cut it in half and make another one depending on how big your bracelet or your wrist is. So there you go. Those are all the activities for art class. We've talked about lines. Whoa, and now I'm tipping that. Lines and patterns and repeating them. Make a beautiful practicing circles and lines. And then our little owl. And our bracelets. So there you go. Thank you for coming to art class. This weird way to do art class on my phone. Sitting here in my basement all alone without you. Next week I'll see you. Yay. Love ya.